Spoiler alert. The following narration contains major spoilers for the 2019 Spanish film The Platform. If you haven't seen the movie and want to experience its full impact, consider watching it before continuing with this detailed account. The Platform, El Hoyo in Spanish, is a dystopian thriller that takes you into the depths of human nature, exploring the extremes of survival, morality, and societal structure. Directed by Galder Gaztelu-Urrutia, this movie is a haunting commentary on class division, greed, and the human condition, all wrapped within the cold concrete walls of a mysterious vertical prison. The story begins with our protagonist, Goreng, awakening in a featureless cell. He is introduced to the bizarre reality of this prison, a vertical tower with hundreds of levels, each containing 2 inmates. There is a large, rectangular hole in the center of the floor, connecting all the levels. Every day, a platform laden with food descends from the top level, stopping briefly on each floor, allowing the prisoners to eat. Those on the upper levels feast on a lavish spread, while those below are left with the scraps, or nothing at all. Goreng shares his cell, labeled Level 48, with an older man named Trimagaysi. This level isn't too high, but it's not in the worst position either. They can still eat, though the food is already partially devoured by the time it reaches them. Trimagaysi, a grizzled veteran of the system, explains the grim rules of their existence. Those above eat, those below starve, and each month, the prisoners are randomly reassigned to a different level. It's a lottery that can mean the difference between life and death. Trimagaysi is a pragmatic survivor, driven by the instinct to live at any cost. He casually mentions how those on the lower levels often resort to cannibalism, a statement that seems almost hypothetical until it's not. Goreng, an idealist who entered the platform voluntarily to quit smoking and read Don Quixote, is horrified by the brutality of the system, but he soon learns just how quickly morality can erode. As the days go by, Goreng's initial revulsion turns to desperation. When he and Trimagaysi wake up one morning on level 171, Goreng's worst fears come true. There's no food left by the time the platform reaches them. Trimagaysi's true nature reveals itself. He plans to incapacitate Goreng and use his flesh to survive. The old man ties Goreng to the bed, waiting for him to weaken. But fate intervenes. Maharu, a mysterious woman who rides the platform each month in search of her child, arrives. She frees Goreng, who then kills Trimagaysi in a frenzied act of survival, consuming his flesh to stay alive. The line between man and monster begins to blur as Goreng realizes the extent to which this system dehumanizes everyone within it. As time passes, Goreng's sense of hope is rekindled when he's paired with Imagiri, a former administrator of the prison, who has been sent down to experience the reality of the system she once managed. Imagiri is determined to instill a sense of fairness, urging those above to ration the food so everyone can eat. But her efforts are met with indifference, hostility, and violence. The system is too ingrained, too brutal for such idealistic notions to take root. When Goreng finds himself on level 202, where the platform never even reaches, Imagiri takes her own life, leaving Goreng alone once again. But this time, his mind is fractured, haunted by visions of those he has killed and those he has failed to save. He becomes determined to make a difference, to break the cycle. In his final pairing, Goreng meets Bahara, a fellow prisoner who shares his desire to change the system. Together, they devise a plan to ride the platform down to the very bottom, ensuring that enough food is left on each level to feed everyone. It's a mission fraught with danger and violence, as they must fight off desperate inmates on the lower levels who try to take the food by force. As they descend deeper and deeper into the abyss, the levels become increasingly grim, populated by the dead, the dying, and the deranged. Finally, they reach the bottom, discovering a small child, the very one Maharu had been searching for. Realizing that the child's survival could serve as a message to those above, they place her on the platform and send it back up, hoping to disrupt the brutal cycle of the platform with this symbol of innocence. The film ends ambiguously, leaving us to ponder whether the message will be received, or if the system is too powerful to change. The platform is an allegory of society's hierarchical structure, where those at the top enjoy excess while those at the bottom suffer in deprivation. The film exposes the destructive nature of greed, the struggle for survival, and the moral compromises people make in desperate situations. It raises profound questions about solidarity, the possibility of change, and whether humanity can transcend its baser instincts. In the end, Goreng's journey is one of awakening, not just to the horror of the system, but to the possibility of hope, no matter how slim. The child's ascent on the platform symbolizes the potential for a new beginning, a break from the endless cycle of exploitation and dehumanization. However, the film leaves us with a haunting question. Is such a change truly possible, or is it just another illusion in the face of an unyielding system?